Keanu Reeves is not the kind of celebrity who announces his greatness. Instead, his presence settles gently, like a familiar song heard late at night. For more than 5 decades, he has moved through Hollywood as though it were borrowed space, never fully claiming it as home. His performances in The Matrix and John Wick reshaped action cinema, transforming physical intensity into something philosophical and emotionally resonant. These films generated billions, and his personal fortune grew accordingly. Yet money was never what elevated him in the public imagination. What people respond to is something rarer, a sense of humility untouched by fame. In an industry built on excess, he became proof that decency could survive success. Fans don't admire him only for his roles, but for the calm dignity he carries, the sense that kindness is not an image he performs, but a value he lives quietly and consistently. A childhood defined by absence. Every legend begins somewhere, and for Keanu Reeves that beginning was marked not by comfort, but by instability. Born on September 2nd, 1964 in Beirut, Lebanon, his early life unfolded against a backdrop of constant movement and emotional uncertainty. His father left when Keanu was very young, disappearing without explanation and leaving behind a silence that would echo for decades. His mother, a creative and hard-working woman, did her best to provide, but life became a series of relocations across continents, never staying long enough for roots to grow. Home was not a place, it was a temporary arrangement. The absence of a father was not just personal loss, but a missing guide, a question unanswered. That early sense of impermanence shaped Keanu deeply, teaching him that nothing is guaranteed, and that attachment, while beautiful, always carries risk. Searching for belonging school offered little refuge. Keanu struggled academically, battling dyslexia in classrooms that rarely showed patience for difference. He attended multiple schools in rapid succession, never staying long enough to feel grounded. Authority clashed with his restless energy, and structure felt more like confinement than guidance. Yet, amid the confusion, he found solace in unexpected places. Ice hockey became a sanctuary, a space where focus replaced chaos. As a goalie, he learned to stand firm while pressure came fast and unforgiving, a role that mirrored the emotional posture he would later adopt in life. Acting arrived quietly, almost accidentally, offering him something hockey could not: transformation. On stage, he could become someone else, step into a story that had direction. Acting was not about attention or applause, it was survival, a way to make sense of a world that felt constantly in motion, a leap of faith into uncertainty. At 17, Keanu made a decision that would define his future. He left school and moved to Los Angeles carrying little more than ambition and uncertainty. Hollywood was not welcoming. He worked odd jobs, attended endless auditions, and endured rejection after rejection. Early roles were small, forgettable, and poorly paid, but they kept him moving forward. There were nights when doubt felt heavier than hope, when returning to a quieter life seemed reasonable. Yet something in him refused to retreat. His breakthrough came unexpectedly through Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a film light in tone but powerful in consequence. Audiences responded to his sincerity, and suddenly he was visible. That visibility opened doors to more demanding roles, eventually leading to films like Speed, which cemented his place as a leading man. Success arrived, but it never erased the humility born from struggle, friendship, loss, and identity. As his career gained momentum, Keanu formed friendships that mattered deeply, none more significant than the bond he shared with fellow actor River Phoenix. Their connection was built on mutual respect, creativity, and a shared discomfort with Hollywood's superficiality. They spoke about art, life, and the future with the optimism of young men who believed time was abundant. When Rivers' life ended suddenly, that belief shattered. The loss was devastating, arriving without warning and leaving Keanu stunned by its finality. Fame felt meaningless in the face of such absence. He withdrew emotionally, questioning the value of success when those you love can vanish so suddenly. This was not the first time grief had entered his life, but it was the moment he understood that sorrow was not temporary. It was something he would carry forward, learning not to overcome it, but to live alongside it. Devotion beyond the spotlight. Long before wealth and recognition, Keanu's life revolved around quiet responsibility. When his sister became seriously ill, he rearranged everything to be present for her. Work became secondary to care, and privacy became sacred. He supported her not as a public figure seeking praise, but as a brother, doing what love required. When success finally brought financial freedom, he used it not to elevate himself, but to help others, donating generously without attaching his name or seeking recognition. This pattern repeated throughout his life, giving quietly, stepping back when applause followed. For Keanu, love was not abstract or performative. It was practical, patient, and enduring. Through years of uncertainty, he learned that being there mattered more than being seen. That lesson shaped his worldview, grounding him in gratitude rather than entitlement, and reinforcing his belief that compassion is most powerful when it expects nothing in return. Grief, without a timeline. Later losses tested everything he had learned about endurance. The joy of impending fatherhood turned into profound sorrow, and the weight of grief settled in deeply personal ways. Some losses defy language, leaving behind emotions too complex to explain and too heavy to share. Keanu faced this quietly, without spectacle or bitterness. He continued working, not as escape, but as structure, something to hold on to when the world felt unsteady. Grief, he would later reflect, does not disappear. It changes form, it softens, sharpens, retreats, and returns. The experience reshaped his understanding of life's fragility, reinforcing the idea that love is always worth the risk, even when it brings pain. Rather than closing himself off, he became more gentle, more present. Loss did not harden him, it refined him, teaching him empathy that no success ever could. Fame without excess. Despite extraordinary wealth, Keanu Reeves lives with remarkable restraint. He avoids extravagance, chooses simplicity, and values experiences over possessions. He is often seen using public transportation, engaging respectfully with strangers, and supporting colleagues behind the scenes. On film sets, he is known for generosity, sharing profits with crew members, and acknowledging contributions others overlook. This behavior is not calculated, it reflects who he has always been. Success did not change his values, it amplified them. While franchises like John Wick brought renewed acclaim and financial reward, they never became his identity. He continues to pursue creative projects that interest him personally, including writing and entrepreneurship, guided by curiosity rather than profit. In an industry obsessed with image, his authenticity stands out. He reminds people that wealth does not require excess, and influence does not require dominance. Companionship, not performance. In later years, Keanu found companionship rooted in respect and shared creativity. His relationship with artist Alexandra Grant reflects maturity rather than spectacle. They knew each other long before public attention followed, building trust through collaboration and conversation. Their bond is quiet, steady, and unforced, a partnership between two complete individuals choosing to walk together. There is no attempt to rewrite the past or erase loss, only an understanding that life continues, layered and complex. They appear comfortable in their shared space, unburdened by expectation. This stage of his life is not about reinvention, but balance. It suggests that healing does not require forgetting, only acceptance. For Keanu, peace seems less about happiness as an endpoint and more about presence, about showing up honestly, grateful for connection, aware of fragility, and willing to love again without fear. The strength of gentleness. At 60, Keanu Reeves represents something increasingly rare: integrity sustained over time. His story is not defined by triumph alone, but by resilience shaped through loss. He has walked through grief without becoming cynical, through fame without becoming entitled, and through wealth without becoming disconnected. What he offers the world is not perfection, but possibility. He reminds us that strength does not always announce itself loudly, and that gentleness is not weakness, but discipline. His life suggests that survival can coexist with compassion, and that kindness is a choice renewed daily. In a culture drawn to spectacle, his quiet humanity resonates deeply. If his journey has inspired belief in second chances, in dignity, or in the power of simple decency, then his greatest role was never on screen. It was lived patiently in the way he chose to be.